think we're there. I am so happy to be back with you. So happy to see you all. Oh, a little bit close. So happy. Okay. It was such a busy weekend. I was so happy to be able to. We took my parents over to Spirit Fest here in Orlando this week. That was such fun. My parents, they've never been. My mom wanted a reading. I won't read for her, so we got her a reading. It's just really a lot of fun. There's been so much fun stuff going on. And the things that I feel like are so important for us to talk about as we are in this waning of the moon. So by the time we're back together next Monday, it will be the new moon. And so where we are right now, hi Belinda, hi. So where we are right now, we're in the waning. So we've had the full moon. We talked about that last week, and now we're in the moon is coming down. That energy comes down. Oh God! Every time I start telling things, I start yawning. I'm sorry. But the moon energy is coming down as we come down from that cycle to the new moon to get ready for the new moon. So this is this place of release, right? Clearly yawning is a big part of that releasing. And also reconciliation. Reconciliation, I feel like, is this really big part that I want to talk about today. There's so much for us that we hold on to, and as we are releasing from this moon, this time really becomes, and every time I talk about this, I yawn, because there's things that I need to be releasing that I'm working on releasing as well. And so the thing is that when we start to feel into like, oh, I should, hi. So we start to feel into, oh, I need to release this, or I should work on releasing this. We yawn because our body is like, oh, we're going to release this. Oh. Also, it's a sign of dehydration. So, don't ever be shy about making sure you're drinking enough water. Especially for my lady friends, because dehydration in the body, especially as we get older, is no joke. So, okay, so the releasing right now is so important that we want to let things go that we are holding on to. And look, right now in the world, in the United States and in other countries, there is a lot of stuff that's making us have to clench our teeth and other parts of the body. And regardless of wherever you are on the political spectrum, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's making us just go, ugh. And so it's important that we just try and let these things go. I'm never about sitting out. Okay, that's for me personally. I am like, let's get some boots on the ground. Let's share some petitions. Let's share some information. Let's have conversations. Let's have viewpoints. And let's make sure that we are making our country and our world, our countries and our world, the best place that we can make them for everyone. And so I don't want to go into a whole, like, whatever my personal politics are. You can see those on my personal Facebook page because I am not quiet about it. But for this, the thing is that there's a difference in being active and vocal and taking a stand and standing up for the things that you believe in. Hello, love bug. But there's a very big difference between that and letting that stuff eat you up inside. And so we are in the United States in an election year. In other countries, there's going to be elections, or there are elections. And there's a lot of stuff that can make us just go, ugh. And so right now, as we're in this releasing, this is one of the big things that we want to talk about releasing, because if you can release the that part that is causing you to clench up, we stop the flow of energy, we stop the flow of blessings and abundance to come to us when we are so concerned about what is going on with the other aspects of the world that we may or may not have a control about. Like right now, I cannot control whether the United States government passes an immigration bill. I cannot control whether the United States government legalizes marijuana. Now, I can make my voice be heard, but ultimately the representatives are going to do what they're going to do based on either who has paid them the most or the their constituents that have reached out to them. So I make sure that I reach out to my representatives so that they know that my voice is heard. But short of driving to Washington, D.C., which a lot of people do, and standing there with a picket sign and being part of these protests, and a lot of people do it, and that is awesome. this is what I can do. And so once I've done what I can do, I have to just put faith in the universe, in the outcome. Because there's a couple of things I know. One, I can't do it all by myself. None of us can. And we can literally make ourselves ill in the trying. So we connect ourselves with those who feel like we do and believe like we do, and we try to do some part. And when we can no longer do more, or we've given all that we can, we pass the baton with, hopefully, with gratitude that there's someone else there to take the baton, and also with gratitude that we've been able to participate. Hello from Oregon, right? Oregon. Hello, happy Monday, my friend Jen. So we pass the baton with gratitude there's someone else to take it and carry it up further along, and we pass the baton with gratitude that we were able to be part of the race, the fight, the movement. I don't like the word fight, but we've been part of making a better change for the world. And so these are things that we can take comfort in regardless of the outcome. Now, does it always go our way? No, we know it does not. But what we do know is that everything that is happening, whether it is the stuff, and some things are so upsetting. I mean, some things are so upsetting. But there's still some higher fabric. There's still some higher fabric. There is an intelligence to the universe, and anybody who has seen a medium or works as a medium can tell you there is some level of intelligence. There is something more of a higher consciousness that we are just now tasting. And so when things don't go our way and we see these horrible tragedies of people getting trampled, and I saw a dog that must have jumped out of the back of its car or something on the highway, and I was on the highway, and and the family must have just been heartbroken to have this animal to have to be left on the highway, so it's not like they could run out there and get it, I don't know, but just so heartbreaking to see what you just hope was a beloved animal, and so there are things that we can't change. We can't save everyone, but there's something more going on, and everything that we see or do, and all of these things that we're seeing in the world, this tragedy of war and violence and disrespect, and people trying to restrict others who don't think and believe the way that they do. This is all part of an evolution of humanity, and the boat is going to rock before we can finally wake up enough to say, we're not, this is futile. Hello. And, it was so horrible, Belinda. But, the thing about pets, sidebar, the thing about pets is they know when they're going to transition, and they go with peace because they don't have the same human things that we have, right? And we like to think that they do, right? And our animals can be so humanistic and human-like, but I know, and if you've seen it, I know when my Toby left us last January, he kept saying goodbye to me. I knew he was getting to the end. He kept saying goodbye to me. I was packing to go on a trip, and he was being so sweet, and I told him I love you, and whatever you need to do is okay. And the next day after I left town, he passed. So I know he was waiting for me to leave because he was my dog. And I felt terrible for my husband that had to be the one in that situation. But I know my Toby could trust him, and he knew that he would take care of him, and that I would trust him, but that he wouldn't want me to have to see him in that way and to remember him as not in his body, because that's hard for us. We want to remember our loved ones in that beloved state, in their vibrant, alive state. And so I know this, again, sidebar, about our animals, that they come in and they find us and they connect with us and they leave us in the time of their choosing. Animals have such a stronger connection to the other side than we do, and they leave in the time of their choosing. And even when we may be the ones to make the decision that says, I have to take you to the vet for hard decisions, they are aware that it's time for them to go. And so that hopefully brings some comfort for the dog in the highway. and hopefully for that family. But there is a bigger picture. And just as animals have, I gratefully accept your big, huge hugs, my darling Chris. So just as we have, hold on, I just realized I never pressed the button on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Sorry, you may have to go to Facebook to catch the first part of this. What we're talking about, this higher purpose. And so just as our animals know that, I kept looking at going, how come I just have that little live thing there? Just as our animals choose when they leave us and that they know that it's time for them to go and that they are okay, we can know, and we can know that there is something more that is going on. We can know that there is something else that is available, that there's some bigger, stronger, higher fabric, that when we see these things that are going on in the news, we see these things that are going on in the world around us that make us want to clench up, to take that breath and say, okay, this is not okay. This may not be okay right now. It may not be okay for me. It is definitely not okay for the people who are directly involved. But there's some part of this that is moving humanity forward. There's some part of this that someday, God, source, love, light, willings, whoever, in our lifetime, there is something that humanity will wake up. But everything that is happening is humanity learning. And as we know from our own experiences, that sometimes we have to learn lessons like over and over and over and over again. We're not getting it. It's not, and so we are part of this. And that can be very, very difficult. But so as we are in this time of the waning of the moon, getting ready for the new moon, which is next week, this is our time for us to try and breathe, to unclench when we're watching the news or we're seeing what's going on, or if you have had a cross paths or a miscommunication or a falling out with someone who is important to you, this is the time to let it go. Okay? And I'm not saying that if you have toxicity around you that you need to go and make up with that person. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are things that we let go because we don't realize we're still holding on to them. So if you've ever been part of a cord cutting ceremony, one of the things I talk about a lot in cord cutting is like the little plastic tags they put on clothing for to put the price tag on, right? And so it's a little thing, it's a little plastic thing, it's got the T at each end, right? And they put it through and the little T holds on so that it can't pull out of the clothing, and then you have the paper tag. So when you pull it, and sometimes it'll pull through, or you have ripped it and that little T piece is now still wandering around somewhere in your sleeve, and it's going to show up in the most inopportune and uncomfortable time, and you're like, that little thing, and we got to get out that little piece. And so with cord cutting, for me, that's like the little root nugget, right? That little piece that's still stuck in there. We may have cut that cord with that person and we have severed that relationship, but there still may be that little piece. Now, maybe it's not, and you've had, that cleaning and you've released all the little pieces and dissolved the little pieces, but a lot of times people cut those cords and they don't dissolve those little pieces. They don't put them back into the earth or send them to the light. One of the things I love about doing a cord cutting is you can literally take that cord, you can take it out from wherever it is attached to you, and you can just attach it to the light, or you can attach it to the earth, because that way the person, especially if you have someone who is, a sucker on you, energy sucker, vampire, narcissist, something, they are looking for that hose. They're constantly trying to suck on that straw. And if we disconnect it, now they know that it's been disconnected. But if you reconnect it to the light or to the earth, they're still getting what they need, but you are released. But we need to release the little pieces. Belinda needs to hear this. I've struggled a bit of letting go of unhealthy friendship. Girl, I am so with you. And so here's the thing. So for me, I let go of an unhealthy friendship, and this was a lifelong friendship. This was no easy decision on my part. This was somebody who I still love. I love their family. I love, and I miss my nieces, but it was an unhealthy relationship, and it was a very unbalanced relationship, and it got to the point where I had pulled away such that they never noticed. until there was something that they needed. Because when they needed, they always expected me to be right there. And there was not any reciprocity or anything of what I needed or what my family needed. And it was very one-sided. And I got to the point where I said, I need to step back from this, because now there were activities that were hurting me. They were hurting my family. They were hurting our finances. They were doing things. There were things that were happening that were just sucking the life out of everything. I said, this is no longer healthy. And as much as I love this person, I need to love them over there. Hey, Mito, you're a spammer and you're blocked. Banned from the page. Goodbye. If you're a spammer, go away. We're going to ban you. It's very, very fast. Very simple. Go away. Goodbye. Okay. So, Belinda, it is 100% permissible and encouraged and supported for you to cut those cords, to sever those ties, to walk away from the relationship. But we don't have to do it with anger, and we don't have to do it with hostility or resentment or any of those things, and we can do it with love. And so when I walked away from this person, I really had to sit down and remind myself on multiple occasions how many times I wanted to be like, I really miss my friendship. I wish I could go reach out to that person. And I would think about reaching out to them, and I'm like, no, because these are the reasons why. And in all the years of our friendship, one of us grew and one of us didn't. And when you stop and you think, what were the things that I would want to go back to? And what would happen if I went and reconciled with that relationship? And I knew it would just be stepping right back into the loop. And more than that, I knew that stepping into that would mean that I had to show that I was wrong and beg for forgiveness and all the things, when none of that was ever afforded to me for all the things that were done, because they can't even acknowledge anything that was done because they are not in that mental awareness or into that awareness at all. So what was I actually stepping back into? Because I found that I was missing something that was a memory of what I wanted to be there. And we can be, oh, look, you're a spammer, Amy, goodbye. You're a spammer, banned, bye. If you're a spammer, you're gone. See you, bye. And what I found was, because this happens to us in grief as well, whether we're grieving a relationship, we're grieving a pet, we're grieving the loss of a job, some kind of transition, when we are in this place of grief, we create this scenario of what we miss, of what we remember, of what, oh boy, I wish I would go back. Of course I would go back to a relationship, because wasn't it the most wonderful? And wasn't that person the most perfect and the most everything? And then, sorry, Chris. Chris says, you never let me have any fun with the spammers anymore. I'm very sorry, my friend. Well, oh well. And so we create this world of rose-colored glasses in our minds, and we remember relationships in a way that is not the truth. And we remember our loved ones who have left. That may have now, we remember things with a filter. And so where we want to go with releasing these, letting go of these things we're still holding on to, yes, of course, Belinda, we don't apologize for things that weren't your fault. Sometimes we'll apologize to make peace, to be able to move forward. For my part of this confusion, of this situation, conundrum, problem, issue, for my part, I am truly sorry for my part, the part that I have played in this. But we very often don't play that part alone, right? And to be able to say, and to stop seeing these things in this rose-colored glasses, to be able to say, yeah, I miss my friend, but I miss those little pockets where things were really good, and the vast rest of the time, that is just a fib that I have convinced myself that it was more than what it was. When I really sit in to think about it, not to get myself all mad, but when I really sit to think about it, it's like, this wasn't an even relationship. This wasn't a fulfilling relationship. This wasn't even a balanced relationship where we could fulfill each other, where we were even lifting each other. And there were definitely times when we would. And then it felt like more than that, And as time had gone on, more and more often that I was just wrong for, as Belinda says, things that weren't even my fault. And so we don't walk away in anger. We walk away in love. I still love my friend. I love their family. I love all of the, the positive things that we had. Janet, may you make a really good, important point. And I'm going to come back to that in 1 second. But I love them over there. I love them with all the love and the light and the health and the joy and all the wonderful blessings that I can give them over there. I don't want them back in my life. And so here I'm going to take, but I don't wish anything negative for them, because then that's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to, fall sick. So I wish them only blessings, because then I can stay in a place of joy of that relationship. Okay, so let me come back to Jen's comment that says, having trouble letting go of my marriage with a gaslighting narcissist. Now, she indeed was married to a not a good human. And, karma will come and, go in that, whatever. That's not for us to work out, right? That is above our pay grade, right? Hi, Ruth, welcome. But so here's how we work with letting go of things from a gaslighting narcissist. Because, if I said, raise your hand if you've had experience dealing with, maybe not married to, but having someone, a gaslighting narcissist in your life, probably all of us would raise our hands and say yes. But so here's the thing. And Jen, this is something to think about. And this does not excuse anything, because I stood by you and saw all this happen. This does not excuse anything that he did. But where are the blessings? Where are the blessings? Because when I freed myself from my gaslighting narcissist, and I wasn't married to him, but one of the things that was impressed on me by Spirit time and time again was, this person did X, Y, and Z and meant it for harm, but where was there a blessing in my life because of X, Y, and Z? And so there were blessings in your life, and there are blessings in all of our lives when we are having to deal with these things that the narcissist intends for harm, but the universe comes in and says, yeah, but I'm going to show you this, or I'm going to teach you this, or I'm going to open this door for you, or I'm going to put this person in your path to help walk you through it, or where are the places when we are having trouble forgiving that person, or we're having trouble moving on and getting that little root seed of that cord out? Where are those places where we can say, you intended harm for me, or you acted in your own self-interests and selfishly not caring about my interests? Where were the places where you acted in your benefit with either malicious intent or unintentional intent to harm me, that there was blessing? That where are the gifts? Because if we can get past the anger and the resentment, because that's the surface, right? That's the stuff. Ooh, I think of that person. Boy, I'll tell you, there's something I'd say to that so-and-so and such. And we can't get beyond it. But if we can put all that to the side and say, yeah, this man, that man done me wrong, right? However, whoever, if we can just scrape off that layer of, if you've ever cooked soup and you get that layer of fat, if you put it in the refrigerator and you got to scrape all that off to make the soup healthier and get rid of all that, we scrape all that garbage off and we throw it away. And now we can see the good stuff, okay? And so this is, again, does not excuse the things that people have done to harm us, whether intentionally or not. But what did we get? What did we learn? Where did we grow from having walked that path with that person? And this is the place where we can come to and see, so bring it back around, this is the place where we come to where we can see there is a higher purpose. Because though this person intended harm for me, the universe saw it, and God, Spirit, loved ones, angels, guides, saw fit to use that experience to bless and enhance me, to expand me, to teach me things, to expose me to other people, to put others in my path, to somehow help me go forward. And I say me, but I mean all of us. If we are able to scrape off all that top stuff and really look at the blessings, then we can see where we can thank that person for the shitty experience that we would not have been where we are now without having walked through that crap. Okay? So I don't want to go back to that crap. And I don't want to go back to that place of manipulation and lies and yelling and screaming and just all of those things. But I would not be who I am or what I am or where I am if I had not walked through that shit show. And so when I look at where we are now, and Chris has bravely shared, my first husband was a nasty, vile, poor excuse for a human. I lost track of how many times he put me in the ER. But if I hadn't met and married him across the country from where I lived, I never would have met the woman who is still the better half of my brain, or the man who gave me 2 children. I wasn't supposed to be physically capable of having. No abusive asshole equals no kids. So, Chris, that's very brave of you to share your story, and I remember some of that. We don't want to go back, but let's take the things that we've learned, and when we can come from that place to say, with no abusive asshole, we wouldn't have 2 amazing kids, and Chris has 2 amazing kids, that we can see a different picture to say, okay, the universe brought this abusive asshole into Chris's life, insert whatever your situation is, in order to help her become the amazing human that she is today, who has so much compassion and so much fortitude to help others that she, if you don't know her, you 100% should, but brought her to this place where she is now the human that she is, that she wouldn't have been otherwise. And so when we can look at that and say, thank you for being part of my, hey, Sharda, thank you for being part of my journey to help bring me to this place, to this ability, to this, yeah, you were an asshole, and yeah, you did crappy stuff. And I come back to this one saying in my head over and over again, though you intended me for harm, you intended this action, this situation, this thing for harm, the universe sought to bring it for good. And so I thank you, shitty, abusive asshole, insert person thing there, and I wish only love and blessings for you, again, way the hell over there. But when we can come to that place where we can say, it's so funny, we come to that place where we can say, I wouldn't give up my kids for anything. And some of you know that, we spent 3.5 years fighting Bank of America for our home, this home that I'm sitting in, because they made a clerical error on our account and tried to steal my home. We were in and out of foreclosure for probably 6-7 times, and lawyers and all kinds of stuff. And the mental trauma, emotional trauma that they put me through, the collections agents and things that are illegal now, but this was after the 2009 housing crash, that they would call my house every 30 or 45 minutes from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day for 3.5 years, except Sundays. Actually, I take that back, some days there were Sundays. Can you imagine trying to work or do your job or anything and when you would pick up the phone, you're the criminal because you haven't paid, which was a lie. The emotional trauma, that was just ridiculous. But to come to the other side of it, not only did the Justice Department say that in a ruling that Bank of America and the other banks that were involved had to make reparations to people, we got $85,000. Now, I mean, that's a crap ton of money, and to some people, and for other people maybe not so much, but I'm happy to have it. It was $85,000 I didn't have. And if you'd have said to me, if you get to the other end of this, we're going to give you $85,000, I would have been like, I'd have to think about that. Like, maybe I'll walk through that hell to get $85,000. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know. But having survived the hell, the universe made it right and said, here is $85,000. So we have a second mortgage that went goodbye. And that was a blessing because we walked through the hell and we survived, and the universe has this balance. And it wasn't just the money. From that experience, brought me to a place where I teach other people how to deal with stuff like this and credit card debt and things like that, and how to really listen to your heart and how to stand in those places where it feels like you're being attacked from all sides. And when you come to the end of it, how now to have this conversation where we can say, I should go out and get a gun and kill you damn people, but I wish you love. And I'm so sorry that you have to work in such a place that makes you call people and be horrible to them. That can't feel good for you to be a collections person. And if anybody's a collections person, you have my prayers. Because it's not an easy job to call up and be a jerk to try and get money out of people before you even know what's going on. But in the moment, I couldn't see any of that. But we come to the other side of it and we see that Spirit has brought us to this place and they have walked with us. This is the thing. I didn't know it at the time. Spirit, I should have. Spirit was walking with us. Or I couldn't connect to it at the time. Spirit was walking with us. And we were being brought to a place that was so much better. So much better. Because we had gone through that, we get to have this. And so it's important that when we are, and I was mad at Bank of America for a long time. Oh, I was mad. And I can say, though you meant to harm me, and they harmed a lot of other people, but though you meant to harm me, the universe saw that this was for my blessing. And the universe put this in my path to bring me to a new place, to expand my soul, to expand my life, to change my situation. And so I thank you for being willing to be the asshole in my journey over there. Okay, so I hope that this helps somebody, because this time that we're in this week, right now, this week, because I want to bring it back around to where we are, this week of the waning moon is so much about letting it go. And tomorrow, if you're in the United States, tomorrow is Super Tuesday in an election year. That is not an easy day. And, you know, depending on what side you're on, and it doesn't matter, but we see legislative sessions are you know, wrapping up stuff, and some are not, and they're passing things, and stuff's coming out, and it's stuff that can really make you want to set your hair on fire, depending, again, on where your views are. But allowing that these things will bless us in the end, in some way. There will be a shift, and God willing, we will be alive here to see it. When humanity finally wakes up and goes, you know, we're not going to be assholes to each other anymore. But for us to scrape off that top part of the anger and the hate and the resentment and the frustration and all those things, to be able to say, okay, I walked through the firestorm. Where does that bless me? What have I learned? What have I gained? How have I moved, expanded, lifted, risen, gone forward? Because when we can identify that, we can look at that situation with the toxic ex-boyfriends, ex-friends, ex-husbands, ex-jobs, whatever. And we can say, I forgive you, and I wish you only love and light. I wish you only love and light. Don't ever come back. But I am grateful for the experience. Okay. Now, keeping in mind, there could be the place where we're the asshole, okay? Because if we really are willing to look hard enough, we can see that pretty much all of us, at some point, we were the baddie. And it's okay, because we grow and we learn and we try and do better. But let's not be so sure that we are only ever always the victim in the ivory tower, that sometimes we've been the baddie too. Okay? My husband, for a lot of you who know, a lot of you know, my husband works for the WWE. He is not a wrestler. But it's fun to watch that some of these folks they're the good guys, then they're the baddies, then they're the baddies, then they're the good guys. And I don't keep track because I don't really care. But it's fun because apparently right now, like, The Rock is back and he's always been the good guy. And now he's going to be a baddie. And people are like losing their minds about it. So let's not, I just think it's hilarious. So let's not lose sight of the fact that somewhere in our lifetime, we were probably the baddie too. Okay? And so that gives us a place to have compassion, right? For the person who is filling that role and that purpose for us. We did that for someone else. We were the baddie to help bring someone else to a different level too. Okay? So we can't be thinking that we all innocent, because we're probably not. Okay, so just to be fair is fair. But again, when you can come to that place and know that the universe had a higher plan in bringing you to it and through it, to be able to say, now you are equipped. Now you are seasoned and worn and weathered and strengthened, and you're ready now to come to this place where you are going to do magical, magnificent things. But you would not be prepared for that if you hadn't gone through that fire. So in this time, this week, because the new moon's going to be next week, and we'll be in that energy when we meet next week, this is the time to let that go. Let go, because we need to clear our energy. So if you have those little roots, right, little thing that was on the clothing tags, that we are, I remember that you were once the co-host of a podcast about WWE. I got to get you connected to my girlfriend Cindy, who was also had a podcast about WWE. This is the time for us to self-care, salt baths, maybe a massage. Even if it's your own, just grab some moisture, lotion, oil, rub your feet, rub your shoulders, something. Just take some breaths, breathe in, take some essential oil in your hands, breathe it in. Something that allows you that clearing. If you can do a bath with some salt, maybe some lavender in it, to reconcile with ourselves, reconciling with those other people, not necessarily having to get face to face with them or even talk to them, but reconciling in ourselves about that situation. So we've got some work to do this week so that we are prepared to relaunch into this place of expansion that is going to be available to us on Monday. Okay? All right. That is enough of that. Woo! Okay. Got my selenite ball. I'm going to wave it around for all of us to have a selenite ball and get a little clean, clear, counterclockwise energy. All right. I want to try something different today. I do want to do some cards. I do want to do cards, but I want to try something different. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but as I have said in the past, we've been trying to bring in more mediumship into the group. There will be a live mediumship. I need to get the information out. I believe it's going to be on March 19th, but it's going to be live in person here in Florida. So if you are local to Central Florida and you would like information about that, please let me know. Let's make sure you're on my email list. If you are not local to me, please do not panic. I'm going to do another mediumship event in April. That will be a Zoom. I'm trying to alternate so we have some in-person and some internet, so we can keep growing our online community. We can also keep growing our local community. All right, so we're going to do cards, but I want to try and do some mediumship. So here's what I think. Is rather than do a card, an individual card, if you want a card, fine. Not saying no cards. If you would like to have a card, when it is your turn, we're still going to do the group, couple of cards, but when it is your turn, if you'd like to have a card, have a card. If you would like to have a mediumship reading, tell me the person you're looking for. Don't tell me anything about them, okay? My father, my mother, okay? And I want to try and tune into your energy and bring forward information. And we've talked about putting in pictures, but I don't think you can upload pictures to the comments here. So we've got, you can send me pictures in as a message, like through Facebook Messenger or through Insta Messenger. You can send me pictures and I can read them on our Monday time. But for today, I'm going to try something different. So our first card, this is chaos. Of course it is. This card is chaos and conflict, and it comes in upside down. This is card 33, chaos and conflict, right? So things are falling apart, but they're falling into place. Where is, okay. So they are, oh, look, Elizabeth, you are a spammer, so you're banned. Goodbye. Bye. Spammers are banned. Spammers are banned. Banned. All right. If you're a spammer, just go, because we don't have anybody spammers. All right, so this is Chaos and Conflict. This is card 33. And, okay, this is card 33. But you can see it's the zebra and the, he's trying to be a giraffe, and he's, got the, let me turn it the right side up so you can see it. So he's got this beautiful, like, cloudy sky. You can see the light is behind him. He's got the shadows in front of him. Oh, Chris, you're so funny. You're so funny. Okay, but when we are, oh, look, the spell person. Oh, well, you're bad too, because, yeah, see it by. Oh, yeah. Okay, lots of spammers today. So, look, when we are having this place of chaos and conflict and it's upside down, our job is to trust it, to know that the things are already happening, that we want them to be happening, that things are already coming our way, that change is coming in the most positive way, and that we don't have to keep pushing and pushing for it just to allow that it's already happening. So when we have this chaos and conflict, things are being stirred up, things are being are moving forward, and they're spinning around, they're trying to shift it and shake it up to be able to create something new, but it's already happening. When it comes in upside down, it's this reminder that we're going in the right direction. I mean, look, the light is behind him. The light is behind him. The shadows are in front of him. So he's going in the right direction. This is where we're going, right? We're walking with the light is pushing us forward, right? The light is behind us. The light has got our back. We always want that. All right. So then this next one is To Be Fair. I love To Be Fair. To Be Fair. And To Be Fair is number 38. So 33 on the Chaos and Conflict is 6. So this is, again, telling us we're going in the right direction, right? We've kind of come over the hump. We're going in the right direction. This is 38, so 8, 9, 10, 11. So 8 and 3 is 11. We add 1 and 1 together is 2. So this is To Be Fair. And this is reminding us of balance, right? So this is the balance that things are to be, mutually beneficial, right? To be fair, that things are working in our favor, but they're working for everyone. And I love this because it really reminds us, right? What are we talking about here for society? We are in this place of chaos and conflict. The change is coming, but this is coming in a way that is going to create equity and equality and benefit to everyone. This is what To Be Fair is about, is that there is something for everyone. So if you look, he's, balancing on all these, on all these toes, but he's got, everything is, there's nobody that's going like, and it is, everybody is okay. And so this is bringing that balance to the world. So it is coming. It is slow, but it is coming, okay? And again, 3 and 8 is 11, and then 1 and 1 is 2, which means we are walking that path, right? The twin number, we are walking that path. And then the third card is of course it is. The third card is co-create. So we have chaos and conflict, we have To Be Fair, and then we are moving towards into co-create. And co-create is card 40. So 4, which is, the 4 legs of a chair or a table that gives us stability, that gives us that legs to stand on, a good strong platform. And then this is that we are not alone, that we are in partnership with Spirit, and that we are allowing these relationships with Spirit to grow and to manifest and to be able to help us evolve to this next level. So we've come through the chaos and conflict, which is literally what we've just been talking about. We've come through the chaos and conflict. It's already happening. The positive change is coming from it if we're willing to look for it. And then we have this To Be Fair. This reminds us that everything is going to be okay. Everything is working itself out. We are bringing all the things, the pieces together to create balance in the universe. It is happening. It is slow, but it is happening. And then we come to that place of co-create, that it is important for us to be part of this new world that we want to create. That means we've got to release all the crap that we're still holding on to, so that we are clean, and that we are clean, open vessels to be able to receive and to be part of co-creating the benefit, the blessings that we want to have to go forward. So this weekend, I spent some time cleaning out the garden. I pulled out all the weeds. I got all the soil. We mixed in the compost, right? So we took out the chaos and conflict, right? And I found a sweet potato that we had pulled up all the stuff in last spring, and then we didn't really do anything in the fall because my husband had a heart attack in August, and so we kind of missed a growing season, and that's okay. But there was a sweet potato that was still laying there growing. It's like this big. It was growing all that time, but we cleaned out all the mess, right? The chaos and the conflict. We put in the good stuff. We added in the compost, the mulch. We got everything ready to be fair, to be ready. There was the blessing of the sweet potato. And now we're going to go forward. We're cleaned, we're primed, we're ready to co-create with the universe. We're going to plant seeds, plant new plants. And actually I left the sweet potato plant that was already there because there was one plant that was still growing. There's no reason to pull him out. So, okay, so the cards don't lie, right? They give us what we want to talk about on Mondays, and then they give the cards to prove to us that they are listening, they're paying attention, and that they are helping us. And I am so glad, Ruth, that it's hitting home for you. I'm so glad. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you're a spammer, just leave because I'm going to ban you. It is Dipsy, there you are. Smith Mary, you're a spammer and you're banned. Bye. Bye. Okay. Sometimes I can see it because I can see them coming because they'll like a comment you've made, and then you see their name is like Sun Star Catcher, Beacon of Light. And now, no offense to, no disrespect to whoever is named Sun Star Catcher, Beacon of Light, but you can kind of see them coming. All right, we are to the time of cards. So, if you would like a card, you know the deal. If you would like a card, you want to put a comment in the comments that says, I would like a card. If you would like a person, a mediumship reading, then when it gets to your turn, like when you put in your comment, you can say card or mediumship or card or person, and just tell me if you want mediumship, then just tell me who. Don't tell me anything about that person. Just tell me who. Okay? All right. So we are, and we're going to see if this works. Okay? We're just going to see if this works. Okay? Because for me, I can see only your little niblets next to your names. Some of you have pictures, some of you don't. And so I don't know what the answer is. Ellen says, may I have a message? We're going to try. This is something new. I mean, I'm a very good medium, but this is something we've not tried in this way before. So we're going to see. Now, keeping in mind, these are going to be quick messages. They're going to be what we call greetings rather than readings. So it's not going to be that in-depth message that you would have in a session with me, but it's hopefully going to be something that'll be resonant. So, and if it's not for you, pay attention anyway, because sometimes these things have a lot of overlap, right? All right, so let's see what we can do. So as we go in order. So Jen Steiner has asked for card, and everybody else has taken that leap of faith for mediumship. So we're going to see what we can do. So for my friend Jen, we have, this is orphaned, this card orphaned, and this is card number 5. Now this card comes in upside down, orphaned, okay? Now this is a really dark looking card, okay? It's really dark, it's cloudy, it's bleak looking, but it's not, okay? It's not. We look at these cards and we say, oh my gosh, it's so sad. But the fact is that when we're looking at the orphan card, it is reminding us, and I think this is so important, especially for Jen's comment that she had before about feeling like she was having trouble letting go of this past relationship that was a bad relationship, that this is about being comfortable with ourselves, okay? This is about finding that place to fall in love with yourself and remembering that you are a person of value and worth and merit and worth loving, and that has to start with ourselves, okay? That we are not leaning on someone else for our value and for our worth. And so I feel like this is a really important card for Jen. I also feel like this is a path that she's working on already. So I love that this is confirmational for you. That is reminding you that you are a magnificent, wonderful person who is beautiful inside and out, who is worth loving, and that starts with you, loving yourself. And so this card is orphaned, and it seems like a dark card, but it's about getting comfortable with ourselves, okay? Being comfortable with being alone. And so I'm loving this card for you, my friend. All right, so hello. All right, so we're going to go, and again, we go in order. So the next person is going to be Belinda. And so if you're just joining us, we are doing, you can choose a card or you can choose a person. And we're going to try as we continue to experiment with, don't know if it's going to work, with mediumship in Facebook. Now, my problem with all of this is that because we're not connecting energy to energy, that there is not that open communication because the comments take a little bit, but I know what I know. So, and hopefully we're not going to have those spammers. Okay. And so I'm just feeling into Belinda's dad, and hopefully that this is going to be resonant with Belinda and Belinda's dad. So with Belinda, this feeling that I have is of a big person, a heavier guy, and that he had trouble walking. I feel like there may have been some problems with his legs, like some swelling in his legs that made it hard for him to walk. And that even still that he wasn't a person that complained about pain. And again, if this is not for you, keep in mind maybe it's not for Belinda, but it might be somebody else. Okay, so if it's for you, you just let me know. But I feel like I want to be with Belinda. I want to connect with Belinda's dad, and I feel like that he, even though he would be in pain, he would not complain, and he would still want to show up to all the things that were going on in your life, and to let you know he was there and that he was supporting you. And so the big piece from this right now, Belinda, is that that hasn't changed. The pain has gone away, and that he is not weighed down by the heaviness of a body, but that he is still showing up for you, to be with you and to be supportive of you in all of the things that you are doing in your life, that you have this partner in him. Because I feel like there was a real tight relationship with you and your dad, that he was, there's a confidant that's in there, and even as far as like keeping secrets from mom, like, don't tell mom, that'll just be between us. And he's showing me that he's still wanting to be that secret pal, that confidant with you, that he's still right there with you, has your back. So hopefully that is resonant. I see your comment that yes, in the end he had trouble walking, but again, not a big complainer about it, and that really always tried to put a happy face about it. So all right, so yay, way to go. That's terrific, Belinda. And you know, again, if anyone would like a more in-depth, like an actual reading, you can message me for rates and appointments and things like that. And so we're going to move on to Ruth Habasco. Labasco. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and I do apologize if I don't. But again, we have a father energy that is there. So with this, it feels, Ruth, it feels as if there's a heavy accent with him, but there's also, I feel like smoking. This may be cigars that's with him. That it's, and there's also a lot, Ruth, about being outside. I feel like there's a lot of trees around him. There may be some mountains around him. I also feel like I need to talk about hunting and respectful hunting. I'm not out there just killing stuff to kill it, but that we would go hunting. I feel like that there's illness that takes him in the end, and I also feel like there's something in his head, like there may have been some dementia or some kind of memory issues or confusion at the end. But there's a clarity now. It's a vision. It's as if my vision was really blurry toward the end, and I couldn't like see well. Because what I'm understanding now is that I can go out there and I can go hunting and shoot, and my shot is perfect because I am. Like I have my vision back. So I'm not sure if this is resonant for Ruth, but this is where I'm feeling, and hopefully this is something that is connecting for you. And again, if it's not for you, then it might be for somebody else, as other loved ones are going to try and come in. So we'll have that for Ruth. Ellen has asked for a message from her daughter. Now, let me be very clear. This is new that we're doing this way today, and so we're going to just go a little bit for how we can do it, and then there's going to be a place where my energy is going to say, yep, that's as much as I can do this way, because it's a different way to work. But I'm loving to try these new things with you, and I love that you are all on board. So we'll see how we do. Okay, so again, still trying to go in order. Let's see. Ellen. So Ellen, this feels very unexpected in this passing with your daughter, and it feels like in the time that there were questions of did something of who was responsible, or if there was like wanting to. This is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this anger and this burning inside of my throat and my chest of like who is responsible for taking my daughter away, and I'm wondering if this is like medical malpractice or something like that. But in the end, it feels like no, this is just what happened, and there is a piece that's about it that I feel like was hard fought for you, that we had to go through all this stuff, these hoops, and I don't want to be too personal in a public forum, but to be in a way to come to a place of understanding and come to a place of peace with her. It does feel like there are young people that were around that are left behind, but I'm not feeling like these are children with her, Ellen. This feels like either she was very young when she passed, or there were other teenage, or and there's like a variety of ages, but it doesn't feel like these are her offspring, but it feels like there were other people that were young people that were around her that mourned her loss. Also, I feel like I need to talk about something about a skateboard with her, and I'm not really understanding where to put that, but I feel like I need to talk about a skateboard with her. There's someone else that had gone before her that was there to greet her, and it feels as if there was it feels like there was another young person from a different family, not this family, but another young person that we knew that was on the other side waiting for her to come through. But there was also an elder that was there as a grandmother, great-grandmother, someone who was also there to get, and what I'm hearing in my head is to catch her, as if she passed so quickly that someone on the other side had to be like, whoa, I gotcha, to kind of scoop her up as she crossed over into the other side. There is, also I need to talk about a love of like roller coasters or amusement park rides, because I hear this in my head like, woo, and I can see it as if it's like tracking on this roller coaster, that somehow a roller coaster is important and letting you know that we're still having fun. And that everything is cool. We're still going wee, and we're doing fun. And so I'm going to leave that. So Ellen, I hope, and I kind of feel like I want to leave the comments open a little bit today, is what I'm getting about that might be important today for those of you who may miss your window here. So we'll see how we feel at the end of that. All right, Chris has asked for Phyllis Garrett. Okay. There's a momminess about this, but there's also a sharp tongue with her. Not mean, not angry, but sarcasm and sassiness with her. I have this image of, I don't know if anybody is old enough to remember that TV show Alice, and there was that Flo lady with the big red, she was one of the waitresses, and she'd go, well, kiss my grits, and have this kind of energy about her, that she was just sassy and feisty, but she had this heart of gold, and that there was a mentorship with her, Chris, that she was trying to look out for you, that that she was trying to stand in a gap for you, and trying to be trying to bring you along and to watch out for you. This is the image that I have of we tripped over the same tree roots, that she had walked your walk, that she had somehow been through some of the things that you have been through, and just wanted to let you know that you weren't alone. And I feel like that is still with you, that is still the same, that even if she's in the spirit side, feeling that kind of hair piled up and this strawberry blondness about it, that this is still somebody who's looking out for you, and somebody who is still trying to help you to move forward, and who Yeah, I was really trying to stand in the gap and be in a place of guidance for you. There's a sisterly love, but it also feels like she was above you, but not in a parental role. So hopefully that is connecting with you. There's also a dog with her, like a small dog. I feel like that's like a little terrier or something that she would have carried or would have been around her. A little dog that you would be aware of as well. So I'm going to leave that, and hopefully that is resonant for you, Chris. I feel like I've just really letting Spirit to come in and just to trust and to guide us. And so Ellen, very close, she says, very close. That's awesome. Laura Lou, I see you. Okay, so we're going to try, let's see. All right. Mariana has asked for dad. 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 Okay, so Mariana, dad feels like he was sick for a long time. Dad feels like that you were part of the care team with him, and that you were part of keeping others calm and keeping, making sure everyone's okay. This feels like you picked up slack, like that you were doing things that he couldn't do. Mariana, dad. Also feel like that there's siblings with you, because there's a thank you with this Mariana that is, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but that you not only picked up for other people, picked up slack, but that you were trying to make things be easier for others in the time of his passing. And I do feel like, again, that he was ill for a longer period of time, and to be able to help things to go forward. When he passes, he makes me feel like I'm okay to go because she's got this. But at the same time, I want to say that I have a guilt about putting this extra burdens on you, this extra responsibility on you, because you stood up and you carried a lot more than you should have had to. And so there is this thank you, but there is this sadness about it as well. But there's also this thing about remembering him, because he's a really, really smart man, and there's a quiet wisdom about him that is, I want to say bookish, and there's this feeling of, I'm sorry that I had to put so much on you, but please remember me how I was in this quiet wisdom, and as someone who we could talk and we would have, there's showing me these like late night conversations, as if you were next to him in his sick bed, having these conversations of when he would be awake, about books and higher minded esoteric kind of conversations is what I'm feeling. So again, this is a new way to work for me today, so we're trying something new, so I have no idea if this is working. So if it is, hooray, and if it's not, then we'll try something else next time. But this is such an interesting, I feel like this is mediumship in the blind, which we do is sometimes when you have training classes, you have you'll have moments where they will, some teachers will literally blindfold you, and you'll have to do mediumship. You'll have no idea who's sitting in front of you, and you'll just open up and start talking with trusting that the spirit who is for that person who's sitting in front of you is going to come through, not being able to to even know that. So this feels a lot like that. So Chris says, I've been waiting to, Heather Danielle, you're a spammer and you're banned. Goodbye. We don't have any spammers. You should go do your own work. You should stop trying to pick up on other people's work. Okay, so bye. All right, so Chris said, I've been waiting to hear from her since April, and this is the first time she's ever come through. Everything you said was 100% accurate. Thank you so much, my friend. Well, what do you know? It's almost like Spirit knows what they're doing. So, Chris, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful that to be able to bring through information for you. This is March, so that means you've been waiting for her for about a year, and I'm very honored to be utilized in that way. And Mariana says also very true. So this is exciting. We might be able to do this. This is really cool. I'm always so open to let Spirit work with me in new ways, to be able to be of benefit for all of us. So if this is something that we want to keep doing, then we can keep doing that. All right, so we're gonna try. I think we can do one or two more, and I know there's more of you. We're gonna try and do one or two more. So just still going in the order of our thing. We're in the order of the comments. We're gonna have Nancy ask for her mom. Hi, Dula. Nancy had asked for her mom. Nancy had asked for her mom. Nancy had asked for her mom. So Nancy, also this is, let me see how many more that we have. So Nancy, Laura Lou, Nancy, yeah, I think we've got Nancy and Laura Lou. So I think we will be able to get to everybody today. All right, so Nancy and Kimmy wants a card. Okay, so Nancy, this feels like that she was also ill. And this feels like this was an illness, and then there was a remission, and then there was an illness, and then a remission. And she makes me aware that there was something important that she missed, like a wedding or some kind of big party that she missed. And so I'm aware of this. Also, I feel like I'm on an island, like a mountain looking out. And I've not been to Hawaii, but it looks like I'm up on the cliffs looking out at the water. So this feels like it was an important, sacred place to her, either the place that she would like to visit or a place that she, had always wanted to go. But that this was, that I'm there now and I get to spend my time here in this beautiful, sacred place. But there is this feeling of missing something, that there was a bigger party, that was a celebration party. Almost feels like it was an anniversary, something that I missed, that everyone was like, oh, it's so sad that she's not here, that she's, that we're missing. And spiritual Luna life, you are a spammer and you get to be banned. And so it feels like she was, there was concern that she was missing these things. And she is talking about that I wasn't missing, and that I wasn't missing it, that I was there, I was seeing it. There's something about, like, I feel this taste of like orange ice cream, orange sherbet, something sweet but citrusy, tart in my mouth, that is something connected to her. Favorite dessert, something that was served at this party. There is a similar message to what we had before, is just a thank you for being part of that care team, and thank you for handling things. So I feel like after, I feel like in the time that she was first ill, there was a lot of you watching because you were younger, and then in the second time there was places for you to step in and help. But I do still feel like you were younger when she passes, that again, having to step in and take more responsibility than maybe you would have had to otherwise. And there is this place again of, I'm sorry that I was not able to stay to be with you as you grew up and had your life experiences. But it also feels like that there's a letter that was given to you, or a letter that was written to you, some piece of knowledge of things that she wanted to say after she was gone, that had been passed to you, that was something that was very important, a treasured piece, that was some piece that she had in knowing her transition was coming, to create something that was able to be given to you. And again, I feel like there are siblings with you as well that are part of that too. So the love is absolutely still there, and there's always this gratitude, but there is some comment about a current event that was regarding an anniversary or a party, some kind of a celebration that was, people were saying, oh, wasn't it Sue said she's not here, and she says, no, I was there. So I'm going to leave that, and hopefully that is something resonant for you. And that is Nancy's mom. And we're going to go to, Laura Lou had asked for a card reading, so we're going to do that. And Kimmy had asked for a card also, and then Gina had asked for a card. All right, so we're going to have 3 cards, and then we'll call it good. So we've got 3 cards. So we've got Laura Lou, Kimmy, and Gina. So we've got Laura Lou card. Laura Lou card. This card is a fork in the road, and this is card number, I need the light. Where's light. And this is card number 13. So this is a fork in the road, Laura Lou. So this is telling you, and it comes in right side up. So it's card number 4. It tells you you're on the right track. Why is it being like that? It tells you you're on the right track, Laura Lou. It tells you that you are going forward and that there's time for you to make some strong choices. But this fork in the road is this time for you to make the choices that are your choices and not the choices that you think others want you to make. So this is a time for you to choose. There's not a wrong way. There's absolutely not a wrong decision to be made here. But it is a time for you to step in and say, this is what I want, and not the things that you would choose because you think it's what you're supposed to choose. So this is a time that says, no, this is all about you. So you have this number 4 that says you are being supported. There's not a wrong way for you to go, but it's important that you're choosing for you and not for somebody else. All right, so we're going to have Kimmy a card. Kimmy a card. And then Gina. And, okay, Kimmy. All right, so Kimmy, this is why. This card is number 31, and this card is why. Now, I want you to notice this thing. So, again, 31, 3 and 1 is 4, right? So, again, the same, that 4 legs of the chair, that support that you have. But this is also being clear about what it is that you want, okay? And we've been talking about this a lot today about about releasing things and getting clean, getting our energy clean. And so this is really understanding, important for you to understand why are you doing this? Why do you want that? Again, similar to Laura Lou's message, and you are so welcome, Laura Lou, is it's time for you to choose for you. And so this is important that you are understanding what it is that you want, why you want it, because are you wanting these things for yourself or because you think this is what you're supposed to want and to do, or is this what you truly want to your soul, to your heart, to your guts, to your kishkas, my grandmothers would say, which is like your Yiddish for your guts. So this is this reminder of you have the support of spirit, of your higher guidance. You have that support because 31, 3 and 1 is 4. But it is the question, sorry, I've got like nose itchies. But this is reminding you about knowing yourself and making those choices for you. Okay, so we're going to leave that. Okay. Kimmy says 2024 has been all about me first. There you go. So that's good confirmation. So it seems like you're clearing some stuff up and clearing some stuff out. So now as you're deciding where you want to go, let's make sure you know why. Okay, make sure you have your motivation locked in there as well so that you're not letting someone else, like put those blinders on so that you're not letting someone else play influence with you. Okay? All right, so yay. All right, so we're going to do Gina. Suzanne, I see you. Yes, of course, we'll do a card. So we're going to do Gina. Gina, this card is Serendipity. What number is Serendipity? Serendipity is 18. So 1 and 8 is 9. So that means coming to the end of a chapter. So serendipity. And then this is also, this is something that is meant to be the gift when it seems like things are coming. Like when you want to say, is that a coincidence? Isn't that weird that happened? Like, isn't that strange that happened exactly right when I was thinking about it? The universe is giving you that little wink. The universe is saying, no, girl, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. You're 100% going in the right direction. Look at this girl in the picture. She's being lifted by the 4-leaf clover. I mean, this is all signs point to the good, point to the joy, point to luck, point to abundance. All these things in this point to love, the green energy in there, the light that's in this card, all signs are pointing to go, to abundance, to luck, to love. This is all the things that are happening that you're saying, well, isn't that weird? Stop saying that because the universe is like, hello, we're trying to show you you are on point with this, okay? So Gina, go, God bless, because that is a great card to get. You are going in the right direction, my friend. I can't wait to celebrate for you. All right, so we had... Sharon, Suzanne. All right, Suzanne. Kimmy, you are welcome. Suzanne, so this card literally just jumped right out at me. This is Unfinished Symphony. Unfinished Symphony is card number 10, which means now this card came in upside down, Suzanne. So Unfinished Symphony. So you've got the musical notes, you've got the egg, but look, I'm going to turn it right side up so you can see it. Okay, so look, you can see his little face in there, right? The little face of potential, the face of you, of spirit, of source. This is the Unfinished Symphony. This is about living in harmony and being accountable not being distracted, staying in your lane, right? This is about living in harmony with yourself, with your heart, so that your words and your actions are lining up, so that what you say you want and what you actually want. So this kind of goes right back to what Kimmy card was all about, the why. So this is about living in being in alignment, right? You want to be in alignment that what I want, what I say that I want, and what I'm acting on is all in the same thing, all in the same road, so that you are going together, that you are in harmony with your life. You don't have to be in harmony with others, but you want to be in harmony with yourself, that your words, your desires, your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, everything is lined up. This is what I want. This is what I've said that I want. This is the direction I'm going to go in to try and bring that to fruition, okay? So that everything is in alignment. All right, we're going to pull one more card for the collective, and that is going to be... This is the card. It's card number 23. 2 and 3 is 5, and it is the card of peace. It is the card of peace. And we see the eggs. There's a lot of eggs in this particular card deck. This is Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of the Oracle. There's a lot of eggs because the egg is potential. The egg is us. The egg is our soul, our higher. The egg is abundance. The egg is new beginnings. It's a potential. It's potency. And so you have this egg, and again you see the face in the egg. See the face? That's us. And we are at peace. Be at peace. Be at peace. We know that there's turmoil in the world. We know that there's tumult. But if you look, it's card number 23, and 2 and 3 is 5, which means we're still growing. We're still going. We're not even over the hump yet, right? We are still evolving. We are still moving forward, but we are moving forward. And that we can be at peace and know, what we talked about in the beginning, that there is a higher plan, there is a higher purpose, there is a higher fabric and a higher intelligence that is part of this, that is leading us, guiding us, and participating with us. Maybe not making the changes, control, but being part of our journey, part of our evolution. So, all right, so this was very different today to do some mediumship this way. I would love to know your thoughts. I'm going to leave the comments open for just a couple extra minutes. Usually I shut them down right away. We're going to leave the comments open. I would love to know your thoughts. If you loved it, if you hated it, if you want to try it again, if you didn't resonate, let me know, because I always am here to try and serve you. If you enjoyed it, if you would like to set up your own private session where we can go a little bit deeper, a lot deeper, please don't hesitate to message me so we can get you on the calendar in March and April, or book it up. But we would love to do some sessions for you. And if you ever have an interest in doing like a group session, let me know. There will be a live in-person group session here in Florida in March, and then in April we'll go back and we'll do another live session, group session. Ticketed events for April will be online. So that's the story. Okay, we've got one vote for Chris, who I loved it with lots of exclamation points. So that is awesome. You are, as always, such beloved members of our community of light. You are valuable members of the universe, helping to bring about the change of the light, and always know how very much you are loved, not just by me, but by every fabric, every being, every entity that's in the universe. You are loved. Mwah. See you next week. No Thursday night this week. We'll see you next week.